You know, we often think that our big life-defining moment, our calling, will show up with a drumroll and a spotlight. We expect it to be loud, clear, and obvious. But what if it doesn't? What if it finds you in the quiet moments, long after you've given up on anything spectacular happening in your life? That's exactly where Moses was. The man who was once a prince of Egypt was now just a shepherd, tending someone else's sheep in the middle of a vast, silent desert. Decades had passed since his grand, dramatic exit from power. For years, he must have felt like his story had already ended, like he'd missed his chance. He was just existing, day after day, in the quiet rhythm of the wilderness. Then one day, something different happened. While leading his flock near Mount Horeb, the mountain of God, he saw it. A bush, completely engulfed in flames, yet it wasn't turning to ash. It wasn't a raging inferno or a loud explosion. It was just there, a quiet, persistent miracle that was strange enough to make him pause and think. I have to go see this. It was curiosity, a gentle pull that drew him closer. As he approached, a voice called his name. Moses. It wasn't a booming command or an angry shout. It was personal, intimate. God then told him to take off his sandals, because the ground he was standing on was holy. In that moment of reverence and awe, the calling came. Go back to the place of your failure, your fear, your past. Go back to Egypt, stand before the most powerful man in the world, Pharaoh, and lead an entire nation to freedom. Imagine hearing that. After 40 years of silence and obscurity, you're suddenly tasked with the impossible. Moses' reaction was probably the same as yours or mine would be. He immediately said, "Who am I to do this?" He was overwhelmed. He saw all his flaws, all his insecurities. He even pointed out that he wasn't a good speaker, that he was slow of speech and tongue. He felt completely unqualified. Why me? I'm not ready. I'm not the right person for this job. It's a feeling we all know, right? That voice of doubt that pipes up whenever an opportunity feels too big for us. We list our weaknesses, our past mistakes, our inadequacies. We convince ourselves that we're not enough. But here's the beautiful part. God didn't argue with Moses. He didn't list all of Moses' hidden talents or try to boost his ego. He simply gave him a promise. I will be with you. That's it. Not, you'll do it perfectly, or don't worry. You'll suddenly become a great public speaker. Just, I will be with you. The promise wasn't about Moses' ability. It was about God's presence. The success of the mission didn't depend on Moses' strength, but on the strength of the one who was sending him. With a heart that was likely still pounding with fear, but with a flicker of reluctant courage, Moses finally said yes. He agreed to step into a role he never asked for and certainly didn't feel he deserved. And that single, hesitant yes changed the course of history. Moses' story is such a powerful reminder for all of us. Your calling might not arrive when you feel confident or qualified. In fact, it often comes when you feel at your weakest. True growth doesn't start when you have it all figured out. It starts the moment you take one small step toward that quiet burning bush in your own life, the thing that whispers your name and invites you to come closer. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to be willing to show up. Thanks so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, I'd love it if you'd subscribe and join our community. See you in the next video.